Well, good morning, afternoon, evening. It is taco time. Very rare taco time. It's not very often I stream at this hour, of course. Hello. Miraculously preserved. I gave up on sleep, so I was like, I have other things to do, but you know, I could stream. おはようございます。いや、おはようって言っても、日本はもう夜でしょDid I manage to nap a bit after the match? I did not! I did not. Because I was actually watching the rest of the tournament. I feel bad. Maybe I should have considered letting Crony go. Except, I think Crony might have been unaware that it was a loser moves on type of tournament. せやな。つよつよトーナメントじゃなかったからな。This is my first VOD from my god directly. God? Oh, Kami-sama. Where? Hello. It is very rare. I know. My sleep schedule is a little... Little is an understatement. It's very wonky. I even said oyasumi to her. I know. The little competitive gremlin in me was like, ha ha ha, I can sleep now, which I did not. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, tournaments like this can go both ways. I think this one was more like a fun, very casual type, you know? So, could have been more casual, but... Could it be jet lag? I'm always jet lagged. Good night from Japan. Oyasumi nasai. So desu ne. So desu ne. What's that quote? I was born from the jet lag, molded by it, breathing it. I don't know. You know how it goes. You merely adopted the jet lag. Well, yeah, you merely adopted the jet lag. I was... While you were busy gomokuing, I was... I don't know where my thought is going. At this hour of the day especially, my thought train of thought train it's just on a no surveillance trip. It just goes and it jumps from place to place. It switches lanes quite often. I went to make tea just now. I didn't realize the sun rose. Good morning. A new day. Today's probably the day where everyone probably goes back to work. It is no longer the holidays. It's just the normal Sunday/Monday. good, I guess. uh, Except I didn't really have a holiday, I think. Which is fine. It's just now that everyone else is getting back to work, I have to be on top of getting homework done. I was a little lenient on the checking in with the homework progress, but time to actually wake up from this short break of no Discord messages. Although it was a pretty fun, relaxing holidays, I think. How long have I been awake now? I mean, I woke up in the afternoon, so hasn't been that long. Yeah, 明日月曜日ですからね。普通の月曜日です。なので寝てください。仕事ですよ。It is work day tomorrow. 悲しいな。Will I sleep after the stream? I'll see how I feel. I mean, Mawani was supposed to come over sometime today, so I'm not sure. And I have a meeting in the evening, so I have to be awake by the evening at least. But who knows? Who knows when my random stamina will just run out? As long as I make it to the meeting, I think I'm fine. I hope everyone had a good holidays, New Year. Did you guys make New Year goals? Yeah, one thing I keep hearing about with New Year goals, resolutions, is the fact that you should come up with something more... What's the word? I'm losing my English vocabulary. I mean, I didn't have much to begin with, but I'm losing more of it the more I study other languages. More concise, more structured, rather than like, I will exercise more this year. It's gonna be more something like, we'll be going to the gym twice a week, at least 45 minutes, or 45 minutes to an hour 30 every session, something like that. Something more specific, more realistic, achievable. At the same time, I think that's something it's like something that's very easy to say and plan, but it's a very hard thing to gauge, like what your capability is, you know? The SMART goals. What's it? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Yes, exactly that. Yeah, I think it's very difficult. Like, for example, I can plan something to do, like, twice a week. That many times. Achievable, but... technically I'm a different person than last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. Like my... it's like... I just realized leveling up is kind of like... not leveling up. Getting older, it's not leveling up, it's leveling down. You like, instead of getting higher HP bars, higher stamina bars, you get less every year. So technically, you know, my HP bar and stamina bar is probably lower than a couple years ago. I know. Permanent debuff. Who decided on the difficulty for this game? We need to have a talk. Who decided that as time passes, you're just gonna have less HP, less stamina? You know, it's not like you even get an increased like knowledge or SP or I don't know, experience points and stuff. It's like, no. No. We don't get updates. I mean, I feel like we do get updates sometimes. Like for example, you know, like, remember the time when we got the smartphone update? Smartphone expansion? I know it was pretty exciting times. I think every year we got a lot of patches. That's the DLC. No, it was pretty much an expansion because like they added so many smaller patches in between, like icons, you know, like they definitely did some quality of life changes to the portable music devices for sure. Remember back in the days you had to carry around like a stack of CDs and stuff. But now they got the quality of life changes, so you can just like put all the files into the music players, you know? Yeah. The bagel CD boxes. Those little towers of CDs you can get. Do they still sell them at like Best Buy or something? I don't think people need that many CDs anymore. It's like not many PCs these days, unless you actually build your PC and actually decide to add it into, you know, your build. Honestly, they just have like ones where you can just plug it in with a USB. Yeah. Barely sell CDs anymore. Times change. I feel like CDs were so cool. Like just how they look and stuff. Like the discs. It's just visually pleasing. A little holographic, you know, coating on them. The package designs and stuff. The album art. You can open up the little booklet it comes with. Has all the lyrics to all the songs. Yeah. Blu-rays. I remember for the longest time, like, I wasn't allowed to have a video game console, right? I wasn't allowed to own one, so I secretly... The only thing I could get was like a Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS. I remember those days. And one of the times I had an argument with my parents was regarding like not being allowed to own a console. And I was like, I really wanted the PS3, and I was like, I saved up enough money to buy it myself and stuff, but they just said no. And then I was trying to explain to them. I was like, you know that extra Blu-ray player we got? We didn't need to get that. If you let me buy the PlayStation 3, we could have played the Blu-ray through that. And I could have played video games. You know? But it didn't really occur to them, I guess. Because back then, I guess they weren't as well versed in the world of technology, recent technology. Like, the only reason they allowed a console in the household for the first time, very first time where we went out to get a console together was actually the Wii U. And that was only because Mama niece and Papa niece saw something about Wii Fit and they were like, oh, wait, video game consoles can do that? And so they were like, oh, it's more than just a, you know, more than just a video console. And then we went out to get one, and they didn't have the normal ones in stock, but I think they had a Zelda one, a limited edition or special edition of the Zelda one. So that was the one we got, and it came with the game. So I was like, oh man, I can play a little bit of that. But yeah. Wind Waker HD one, I think so. I remember it having like a boat. I played a little bit, didn't continue, but it looks really nice though, I gotta say. But I think they had a lot of fun with it. Like during the holidays and stuff, like, cause other than me, none of my family really knows much about like more recent state of video games and stuff, so they weren't aware of like family games, for example, you know, like you can golf with the Wii U back in the day when we got it and stuff. So like I would buy the games and we would play together, like Mario Kart, whatnot. And when the Switch came out, like I think they were okay with me getting it, so I just, you know, got it and we got to play Mario Kart. More recently I got Papa niece Mario Golf, so I played that a little bit. Of course, Animal Crossing. Speaking of Animal Crossing though, like ever since like a couple of years ago, our family, I probably talked about this on stream and forgot about it. Our family has a little tradition now where we gather at my place and we do the New Year's countdown using Animal Crossing. and Mama niece goes around saying hi to all the villagers, and they're like, "Oh, we haven't seen you in a year." Yeah. Cause like technically, before we used to just turn on like some other city's countdown, like news or something, and just celebrate using that. But it felt a little off to me that we would use it with like, cause those videos or live streams technically already happened. So I was like, I think I offered. I was like, Monis, why don't we just use Animal Crossing? They also have a countdown there. So yeah, started doing that. And then this year, Mamonis, it's been a while since she played. So she was like so keen on choosing like the right winter clothes for the weather and making sure she has like, you know, all the things ready to celebrate, all the poppers and stuff in Animal Crossing. She was like, oh, maybe I can wear this hat. No, it's cold outside, so I have to wear a warm hat. And she was looking through the closet and stuff. That was pretty cute. Yeah. Fashion, very important. So... This year was pretty nice. Honestly, like... I feel like after... like 4 years and... how many months? 3-4 months? I wonder if I'm running out of things to talk about when I'm just chatting. Especially when talking about what I'm up to, because I'll be honest with you, it's one of the questions I don't really like being asked in like a real life situation, because my life otherwise is quite boring. Which is why, like, when someone asks, "Oh, how are you?" and I'm just like, "I'm alive." That's really all I can say. They're like, "Oh, anything new with you?" I'm just like, not really. Every day I wake up, I eat, I work, I eat. Sometimes I play video games, I sleep, wake up, I eat, I work. Same old, same old. Yeah. So, which is why I feel like I've noticed more recently too. Every time I'm trying to mention something that happened in the past for me, I'm just like, I probably mentioned this on stream. I don't remember if I mentioned it on stream. That's the phrase I've been saying quite often recently, I've realized. I don't know what I've said and what I have not said. Yeah, but at the same time, I guess over just a little over 4 years, there's been a lot of new fans too, so maybe it's the first time you've been hearing this. So I'll just keep saying it anyways. There will always be someone new. And if it's your first time watching this live, hello. How are you? Welcome. Make yourself comfortable. Oh, man. My train of thought has left my brain completely. I forgot what I was thinking about. I know, it's rough. Literally brain empty, no thoughts. Cause like I'm reading what you guys are saying, but it's just like reading what you guys are saying. My own thoughts are not forming. I'm just reading. I feel like that's what it's been like with drawing too recently. It's like I am more focused on actually drawing, that I don't talk or when I'm working on stuff. So it's very difficult, or it's become difficult to do drawing streams because I'm just wholly focused on drawing. It's kind of sad in a way. At the same time, it's like I'm getting stuff done. it's a trade-off. You know. Any news on Temari Envy? It is still being worked on. It's on the... hard to say the percentages, but as I've said, I worked on a bit of the storyboarding as well, and my brain at that time was like, oh, surely future Ina can totally pull all these drawings off. Curse you, past Ina. But I'm chipping away at it as much as possible. But it's kind of like a labor of love, you know? I enjoy coming up with the vision, the story. And I'm always wondering how or what stories you guys are gonna piece together. It's very exciting. It's one of my biggest motivators for working on art for songs. Yeah. Bye, Natako. Sorry, I have to sleep to prep for work in a couple hours. Good night. Good night. No more sneak peeks, huh? No more sneak peeks until the release. I've released enough. I wasn't even gonna release the art on the album cover, but to get the music out, we needed an album cover. So that's enough sneak peeks. Now that I talked about it, I'm getting more motivation to work on it. You know, I should just do a stream where I don't talk much. You just hear me tapping away at my tablet with some lo-fi music going. One of the work with me streams. You guys will like that? That would actually make me a little more productive in some parts, I feel. Okay. You guys are good with that. I can't guarantee much talking, because sometimes... Like, I think you guys know me as someone who can multitask a lot, but to be honest, I've lost a lot of that capability, I feel, recently. I've been feeling it, like, mentally and physically. Am I just growing old? Probably. Yeah. I call it the... I used to call it my ability to multitask. I used to call it weaponized scatterbrain, but it's no longer lethal. It's just very tame single brain cell moment. But, you know, one step at a time. One step at a time. Yeah. That's like the downside of that is the fact that it's very hard to sometimes get progress enough when you need it. So I've been more focused on getting like one thing done at a time. But there's still a part of me that's just like, you know, you could totally write up a new, you know, new document about another cover you want to do, or, you know, suddenly hear a new song that sounds nice, and you're just like, oh, he's totally right up that document. The temptation calls. Whew. Why does my brain always feel so empty? Maybe it's just my namesake. Maybe I should make like a different version of the working background, just for those work with me sessions. Like a dark room, just like my own office. Turn off all the lights. It's work time. Just the light from my monitors. Dark mode. Play some remixes of hololive music. Dark for the dark mode enjoys exactly. And then near the end of that stream, we turn on Eurobeat Violent. So you wrap up your work. When it's like a day before the deadline, the music changes to Eurobeat Violet. Work with me, Speed Edition. Do I actually? I've done that before. Like, when I needed some boost of energy and motivation to draw faster, I have listened to Eurobeat before. It's like I know some people, when they work on stuff, they listen to like something they just enjoy listening to, and like, for example, they'll be drawing like a really dark, mysterious artwork, and they'll be listening to, Snow Halation or something. For me, I'm more of a, if I need to focus on something, I need a very loopable song, just one song that's loopable, or I listen to something that matches the energy, that matches the mood of what I'm drawing. It's just like when some people draw like exaggerated expressions on a character, and then you subconsciously make the exact same expression as you're drawing it. One of the songs I really like looping is actually Mountains from the Interstellar soundtrack. Such a great track. Actually, Interstellar soundtrack as a whole is really good. Like playing Weight of the World while drawing. Me too. Nier soundtrack, also a good candidate. You know what's also a really good song to loop? Actually, Idol. I'm sure everyone has heard it so many times by now, but it's like, I don't know what it is about the song, but once I like just loop it, it's like a song that keeps my brain busy while the rest of my body is working on something. It like keeps the brain occupied with this, with something. Which is why I wasn't surprised with my Spotify... What's it? Repeat, I forgot what it's called. This year? For second year in a row, Idol was my top played song. And I wonder... Spotify Rewind Wrapped. Yeah. I'm not surprised because of the number of times I just have it playing while I'm just doing stuff. It's honestly one of the songs I probably memorized the lyrics to fully. Surprisingly. Idol cover when? You can go listen to it on my 3D live. Plinies. That's the official version you're gonna get from me. Honestly, the song I was the happiest with was Odds and Ends. I almost lost my voice. There's a reason the Vocaloid song sings that song. Oh. It's a very difficult song in multiple ways because it is a very difficult song and it is one of the songs that is very hard to sing without me crying. So it was difficult on two parts. We made it. Yeah. I think I wanted to save this comment for when Temari Envy released. But I think I'm just gonna say it now. It was a very interesting coincidence, but Violet reached 6 mil while I was in the middle of recording Temari. And I was just like, oh, what a special coincidence. Yeah. I was like, it's all related. It's the will of the ancient ones. Wow. It's all connected. Insert that meme with the guy with the conspiracy theory born. It's all related, guys. Yeah. Whew. What else? Because I can talk more about Gomoku. I don't know what I'm remembering, but I feel like I remember playing something similar. Maybe it was actually Go I played when I was little. I was always like interested, but I never got how to play Go. Remember trying to learn by myself, but it never clicked. So that's probably why it seems familiar. But Gomoku, I saw the rules and I was just like, oh, it's basically like Connect 5. So Go is so complicated. Like, I don't know what is required to like capture stones and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I still don't get it. So, you know. I don't understand. Like, the thing is with these like strategy board games, I don't know what else to classify them as, like chess or, you know, shogi or go. Like, my brain just refuses to think if it finds it boring. Like, my brain has a thought of its own sometimes. That's what I feel. Like, I would be interested in it, but my brain's just like, I'm not. That was the same with like some of my, you know, school courses. The ones where my brain was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, I would just, you know, ace. But the ones that I didn't find interesting, it's just like, nope. But with Gomoku, like, I guess it's yesterday now. Yesterday morning, I played a little bit with the bots to kind of get a feel for it. I'll be honest with you, at the start, I got beaten by the easy bots, and I was just like, this is looking a little suspicious here, brain. But then, after a little bit, I got to a point where I could beat the hardest AI. So I was like, huh, okay, promising, a little promising. I mean, I had to use the rewind time a couple of times sometimes, but can't do that at the tournament. So I was like, okay, I gotta do my best to beat it without rewinding time. It wasn't too bad. Yeah. Yeah, I know, rewinding time in front of Crony, that's a no-no. Out of everyone in Hall in front of Crony, that's a no-no. She'll know. She'll know. Although I have to say, I feel like if Crony wasn't as tired, it would have been... It probably would have been a closer game. Yeah, she's been very busy, so... You know, I think Crony and I, we were talking in the waiting room. We were just like, wait, do we speak English or Japanese? But I think we were just going with the flow. I feel like Crony's Japanese improved a lot, though. That's what I felt last time I saw her in Japan, too. I wonder if she's been studying it. Oh, she's putting time into it. Oh, that's good. Both of you improved? I don't know if I really improved, per se. Maybe I sound a little more natural because I just talk about it a little more. Or talk in it a little more. But my kanji is still... My kanji needs work. My vocab needs work. ですよね。日本語難しい。But at the same time, I feel like I'm forgetting English. And considering the amount of time I spend in Japan, I should probably put more time into Japanese studies. Maybe that should be one of the goals this year for me, is to do more consistent kanji Japanese studies. I have been using WaniKani. It's been pretty useful actually. The funny thing is, whenever there's like whatchamacallit, a radical or something that I can't read, and I check the reading on it, I usually go to see what vocabulary uses that kanji as that reading. And some of them, it makes it easier to remember that way. What level are you on WaniKani? Level 3? Of level 3? It's just... It's pretty hard, okay? But that's the thing. When I speak, sometimes when I speak, I probably confuse a lot of people because my intonation is okay, but my vocab and kanji is definitely level 3. Like, I would be having... That's the thing with when I have meetings with staff, like on the JP side, Kumamon is always there, you know, waiting to translate. But most of the times, I just try my best to reply in Japanese to save time, efficiency. I know efficiency very important to me. So I sometimes have times where I just am talking to like staff in Japanese, and midway to the sentence I switch to Kumamane and I'm just like, Kumamane, I need a translation. I don't know what this is in Japanese. I know, and she's used to it now. Like, in the beginning she used to translate everything, but she knows I can at least understand like 80% of things. So most of the times, like, if I don't answer like their question or something, she just asks, did you understand that, and stuff. So it's kind of like a listening and talking practice in a more professional setting. I get to try and flex my keigo there. Yeah. Yeah, like for example, for like the recent live Pilates, when I was talking to the staff and stuff, I didn't really need Kumomane to do the messaging most of the time, so the staff also, like, you know, mentions me directly. But if it's in text, I can understand properly. But if it's just talking, sometimes I need an extra cushion, you know? Keigo is hard. Keigo 難しいですよね. Yeah, it's cause like, I think as like an English speaking person, Keigo comes a little different and it's a little difficult because English doesn't really have different ways of saying things more politely, more business-like. It's like a different concept. You're just like, why is there two different ways to do things? We are all very rude. No. Like English uses, they don't have keigo, but there is like a roundabout way to do business emails, for example. Rather than saying, "Can you get this done?" Like you would say it differently, kind of thing. But it's a more direct language, exactly. Like, for example, if I'm writing an email in English, it's very short. Very, very short. It's like, "Hi, thanks for your email." And then contents right away. And then looking forward to hearing back from you sincerely, Ina. Format. And then in Japanese, it's just like something, their name. Sama, for example. San, Sama. いつもお世話になっております。hololive EN ミスのNinomae Inanisです。And then you have to do like a whole introduction. And then you roundabout way get into the point. For me, I sometimes had to, add in. I'm still studying English. 日本語勉強中ですので、まだ上手じゃないです。ご了承ください。とか、どうや。Studying English? Oh. Studying Japanese. My brain's confused. 英語勉強、日本語勉強、わからん。もうわからん。And then like I like wrote down, especially when I was learning how to write emails. I wrote down like commonly used like what's it? Like greetings and stuff. Yeah. So there's the usual よろしくお願いします. And then a step up is like よろしくお願いいたします. And then a level up from that is 何卒よろしくお願いいたします. And then if it's like you're done, no, you're continuing to work with them, and you're just like 引き続きよろしくお願いいたします. And then when you're done working with them, or at the end of working with them, or you want to work with them again, it's like, what was it? 今後ともよろしくお願いいたします. I don't know. I forget. But it's like a little template. Situational. よろしくお願いします. Yeah, there's also いたします. There's also 申し上げます. Even a step above that. There's like different keigo levels. 難しい. You know what I usually do when I'm confused? I search the phrase in actual Japanese, and then you add a business Nihongo at the end when you Google search, and you will get actual Japanese sites explaining how to use the right keigo at situations. It's very helpful. Because there's a limit to how much you can search in English, right? When it comes to keigo and stuff. So when I'm confused about, like, am I saying this a verb right, for example, I will actually search it in Japanese in the same context as what I'm writing. And if it shows up in Google search as the full sentence, like, it's usually bolded, whatever term you're searching, right? Then you're like, okay, so it is a way people use it. People actually use this phrase this way. And stuff like that. And when in doubt, if it's like a more casual way of saying something, like a phrase, search it on Twitter. Search that phrase on Twitter. If you see a lot of people using the exact way of, you know, using that phrase, it'll show up normally. You know, it's bad when even the natives struggle with it. It's true, but at the same time, I feel like even with English, people would struggle with writing like more formal emails. I struggle with writing more formal emails. English に敬語はないの？ないんです。なんていうか、普通にないんですけど、まあビジネスメールとか書くときはもっとなんというビジネス英語っていうかlike, you know, one of the things that's like really different from, you know, like a Japanese school versus like a Western school. Like, if you're really close to your teacher here in the West, like sometimes I've had friends who were on first name basis with their teachers. Like, they were so chill that they were just, you know, first name basis with your teachers. But that's like unthinkable in Japan, for example, right? So, 日本はなんか先輩後輩とか先生とか読み方っていうかあるんじゃないんですか。英語はないんですよ。Yeah, I think like the easiest example is within EN too. Like, we don't, I mean, we jokingly say kohai senpai, but we're just, you know, we're just friends. First name basis. Oh. 英語だと先生を名前で呼ぶの。理解した。そうですね。 The culture shock. How long did it take for you to get the hang of Japanese? I think there's a thing, I believe, where your ears actually open up to listening to languages, right? Like, if you listen to a language long enough, you just pick up words. You just naturally are able to understand some without even, like, actually sitting down to study it. And that's been a case for me because, you know, ever since I was little, I've watched, you know, a lot of anime, whatnot. So my ears were already opened up. By the time I actually was like, oh, you know, my university offers Japanese classes, might as well take some. So I've self-taught like hiragana and a bit of katakana before going into university classes, but everything else is I learned while taking the optional, you know, Japanese courses. Which is why when I say when you want to learn a language, just like watch a lot of shows or videos or radio programs with that language, like even if you don't understand it. Yeah. Which is, I guess, like for me, when it comes to listening to songs in different languages, I never really felt the need to know the language to enjoy the music. Well, first of all, I think music is a language, and a universal one at that. And the lyrics just ends up, you know, telling a story with, alongside the language of music. So I like just really enjoy listening to the sound of the language itself. It's like the voice, the words are just like, in a way, part of the instrument, in a way. So when I really like a song, for example, it's in Japanese and I maybe don't understand it at all, then I would look up translations and then I will understand what the lyrics are talking about, and I can go back to listen to that music and then enjoy it in a different perspective. So it's like, in a way, listening to songs of different languages, it's like the possibility of enjoying that music from many different angles. Yeah. I was going somewhere with this train of thought, but I forgot. It's gone. Oh, yeah. I was gonna talk about as an example, like iya. Or Yoro ni kakeru too. At first you're just like, oh yeah, that beat's bopping. Oh, that MV looks pretty chill. And then you look at the lyrics and you're just like, oh. But then I guess it's probably different for others who, I guess, also aren't as exposed to many different languages at once. Like, I grew up with, you know, being exposed to all kinds of different languages around the world. So I'm just like, yeah, let's go. It's a multilingual moment. But I also know how frustrating it can be when like you don't understand anything at the same time, so like I think the most recent example, me personally, was the soundtrack from Arcade. I was like, these songs are good. I don't know what they're talking about, but these are good. So then I, you know, went to look up the lyrics. I'm just like, oh, you know, it's one of those moments. Right now I'm learning Japanese. Do you have any tips on learning kanji or any advice that help you learn them? Oh, one of the things I think I kind of stopped my train of thought while talking about this. One of the things I do when I'm studying it is when it's like learning different... Because kanji has different ways you pronounce the character depending on situations, and it's sometimes it follows the rules, sometimes it doesn't. So it's like a case-by-case thing. Sometimes you have to just memorize how a word is read. For example, like Gomoku. It's a pretty easy kanji. Like, first part is go, which is 5. Yeah, it's read as go. But second part is me, which is I. And it's usually read as me. And then, so if you don't know the other way of reading the kanji, you will just say gome. So, but the other way of reading the kanji is moku, which is why it is read as gomoku. Yeah, it's a onyomi and kunyomi kind of thing. That's what it's called, but I just call it 2 different ways. And the reason I was like, oh, I can read Gomoku as Gomoku because I've learned that I is also read as Moku. And the reason I remember it because funny enough, you know, you know the word, or at least I know the word for witness, you know, mokugeki, something like that. And then when I checked some of the words that are read as moku, it was part of that list that the character for I is read as moku, which is why I remember it now. So, character for I is read as me or moku. Witness! Now you guys will remember it too. Every time you see the character for I, you'll be like, okay, it's read as me, but it's also witnessed! Moku. Mokugeki. Not... not takogeki. Mokugeki. Yeah, so I've been slowly chipping away at learning some of the kanji. Different ways to read the kanji already. That's the difficult part, is that I know what some kanji mean. I just don't know how to read it. Yeah. That's the difficult part. So that's why when I'm in Japan, I don't have that much trouble going around to places. because I just know what the kanji means. I don't need to, say it out loud. So kanji, I think it's like you know the meaning, or you know how to read it. うん。好きな日本語はありますか？日本語。好きな日本語。と言っても、なんていうか。I guess I do have like favorite phrases. My favorite phrase. ぜひもなし。ぜひもなし。It's a nice phrase. When stuff you can't really help it, you can just be like, oh, can't be helped. Move on. Go next. It is what it is. Is it the same use as shoganai? I guess it's on the same... It's about the same, at least to me. Same level of usage? Probably not. If you probably use the himonashi to someone normally, one, they'll be like, I guess that's a rare phrase they say. Or they'll be like, they play FGO. そうですね。普通になんか日本の方にしょうがないじゃなくて是非もなしって言うとなんか珍しいなとかこの人 FGO やるんだなって思うんじゃないんですかYeah. It's like basically the same as you saying phrases you've just learned only in animes. When you're trying to converse in Japanese. What do you mean people don't go saying yare yare? You have to start a trend. I would not like to stand out. I would like to blend in as much as possible. Can you imagine me just walking into like a dessert place and they'll be like, oh, can I have this? They'll be like, oh, no, we don't. Oh, it's just we ran out for today. I'll be like, yada yada yada. やれやれだぜ。ぜひもないし。じゃあ、これにください。はあ。いや、無理無理無理。絶対無理。And I would do the over exaggerated body movements. Yare yare. Yare yare は無理です。One thing that's I think very difficult actually learning Japanese is actually counting. Counting is so difficult because there's a different way to count things depending on the object or person or whatever you're describing. It's all different. So the easiest form you're gonna learn is probably 一つ、二つ. And then it gets difficult. You know, it goes 三つ、四つ. And the next one, it's not 五つ, it's 五つ. おとつつつつ。難しいんですよ。And then what's 6? What's 6? Mutsu? I forget. I know it's mu something maybe. 6つですね。うん。5つ。Surely 7 is not. I think it's. Isn't it 7? 7つ ?7 つですよね。7つ。It's like 7つ and then isn't it 4つ 4つis 8. And then coconut. 8つ ?4 つ ?8 つ ?8 つ Why do I always go 4つ Because I think of 4つ 8つ I probably get this wrong every time on WaniKani. A coconut. I think I actually, one of the times I was talking with someone in Japanese. And I was trying to say 9 things. I'm probably pretty sure I said coconuts. Because there was a slight like millisecond confusion in their eyes. And then I think they got what I was talking about. There was a you know that millisecond of someone like going ah. Yeah. And then there's counting people, which is actually kind of easier than counting the things generally, because you only have to really remember the first two, which is hitori futari, and then you go sangi, and so on. So it's a little easier. You just have to remember the first two for that one. And then when you're counting thin things like paper, you go 1枚、2枚、3枚, etc. And if you want some small-ish object, I don't know when to usually use this. There's also 1個、2個、2個、2 And then if you're counting like bigger quote-unquote machines, there's like 1台、2台、3台, so on. Yeah, cool is for smaller things. Muzakashi. 英語は普通に1, 2, 3ですね。I just like the simple 1, 2, 3 of English. I can appreciate that. There's also first, second, third. I think... Oh, I guess so. I've seen a lot of people make mistakes with that, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It's like a lot of people will say, especially when they're abbreviating it, they're going to go three instead of going third. But then you only have to really remember the first three, first, second, third. Oh, I guess there's also that. Oh. Oh no. Need. You know, when I was working on, or not working on, played a little bit of Gomoku. You know that song? Apache? I was just singing Gomoku Gomoku instead of the actual. So my brain was filled with Gomoku for a whole day. Gomoku Gomoku. Gomoku Gomoku. Any other languages you would like to learn besides Japanese? Not at the moment. At least not that I'm serious about, I think. Learning one more language to your native language, I think technically is the most difficult, because you have to open that part of the brain, open the door in that part of your brain that allows you to think bilingually. And then anything after that, you kind of figure out the different strategies for learning new languages. But due to the brain hardware not being updatable, it does become a little harder as time goes. That's why I think if you're teaching multiple languages to someone, do it when they're little, because kids' brains are like a dry sponge, you know? They soak up knowledge so fast. But once you're older, it's kind of hard to, you know, shove more knowledge in there. It can be done. It is doable, but it just takes more effort. It's like when you get a new PC, you can install, you know, so many new things. But once you had that PC for like 2-3 years, you're struggling to make room for the newest released game. Especially when the games are like giga big these days. You can delete things to make room, which is why a lot of, I think, multilingual people will say, when I learn a new language or get better at one language, I get worse in the other. I think everyone can agree to that. But yeah, I think I will make it a goal to what's a realistic level to raise my WaniKani level. It's pretty low. It's realistic level for 1 year. Level 10? Level 6? Level 4 is realistic. Level 5, nice and even. I'll see. Maybe I'll do a little bit of research on how fast people, you know, go. They're like, I've been in level 3 for quite a bit, and there's still a lot of characters and vocab that I didn't go through. At the same time, like, half the things are not something I would need to actually study. Like, some of the words that come up are literally in, like, katakana, which I don't really need, so 3 to 4 weeks per level for me. You're on 12 right now. Oh. You know what? I'll make it a realistic goal, since it's still January, to get to level 5. Surely, I can get there. They added the words later. It used to be just kanji. I wonder if there's a way to just set it to only kanji. That would be nice. At the same time, like, I could use more vocab in my, you know, brain, so... Well, I have to start with the with the 200 reviews waiting for me right now. But good starting point. I missed it for a couple of days because of the New Year's, and now I have 200 reviews. Gotta do my daily reviews. Mm. I think when I cause I didn't do the reviews for a while, so when I returned I had like over 1,000 or something. I did all of them. And I've been constantly doing them. But now I'm back to 200. Minimum WaniKani level is 8.5 days but requires multiple review sessions per day and leads to huge waves of reviews later on. Just focus on doing reviews daily and use your level. So it says you are level 3. Your time on this level is 1,095 days. So hopefully sometime soon. Almost 3 years. Yeah, I think I started when I was like, oh, I need to start learning Japanese a little more seriously, and then, you know. And then I didn't. I remember I used to know more vocab. That's why, like, the educational systems classes, how they flat out just make you memorize the words and just test you on that, is not as effective unless you keep using the words. It's not as good. Because I remember memorizing hundreds and hundreds of words for tests, but like a month after the test, I probably would forget the words. So that's why finding a method that works for you, it's a little hard to do if it's your first language, other than, you know, your first language, to figure out how you remember words and stuff. I guess, like, for me, I know how I remember some words by relating it to, you know, connecting it to other things that I already know. And if you open your ears to listening to the language you're studying, so you just listen to it naturally and understand some things, you will pick up words. Like, I probably know some of the more difficult words because I just am used to hearing it in places. So Yeah, just having constant exposure to the language is good. Which is why, like, unironically, the best way to learn a language is to just plop yourself into that country and be in a place where no one else speaks your language and stay there for like a year. And you'll be semi-fluent by the end. Sink or swim. You would suffer at the beginning for sure, but it is, in my opinion, the most efficient and sure way to learn that language. Like, if I had the time and determination, I would probably plot myself somewhere away from Tokyo, away from the more touristy spots in Japan, and learn more on the countryside. But then again, I feel like technology and internet has expanded and improved so much that, you know, language borders are easier to overcome. Like, you can get great content or an exposure to the languages you want to speak very easily. So, yeah. VR chat is useful for speaking practice. That's true. There's like, I know people meet a lot of like new, you know, overseas friends from just, you know, participating in random communities, and they come across someone from like halfway across the earth, and you start communicating in like broken language, and you're just like, yeah. And you guys especially, I think, have a great common, you know, interest where you can meet people who are also interested in the same thing. Just hololive. You know? Even if you don't, you know, fluently speak the language, I think translators these days have improved so much that, of course, it's not like perfect translations, but you can at least, you know, make the effort to kind of try and communicate and connect and talk about things you like. It's definitely more usable than a couple of years ago. Connect the world. If you wear holo merch in Akiba, there's a high likelihood someone will talk to you about it. That's true. I think, like, there's a lot of fans out there who just really like, you know, connecting with other fans too. I know some people might be shy to talk, you know, talk directly, but being like, you can all be like Bochi, you know, in the first episode when she wears all that, you know, merch, try to get someone to talk to her. Be like that. Wear your merch proudly. And perhaps someone will talk to you about it, you know? The booty strats. Or you know, you just have to go to a place that will 100% have hololive fans in Akiba. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Radio Kaikan Amiyabi. Hololive Productions merch section. Most likely going to find some hololive fans there. If you wanna, you know. Gonna go see someone picking out some merch, but like, oh, are you so and so's fan? Yeah. But Ina, what if we're introverts? You know? As someone who would consider themselves 99% introvert, sometimes you gotta find that 1% in you to step out of the circle to find people with similar interests. Because in your life, you will have that 1% where you just wanna talk about that one thing you're passionate about. And without stepping out of that little boundary, you won't find the connections. So 99% of the times it's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be, you know, like, you're not gonna expect to have a 4-hour conversation with someone at, you know, who's just shopping at the Radio Kaikan store. Like, just, you know, this just has to be like a light comment. Like, oh, you never know. Maybe you will have that 4-hour conversation. Maybe you'll just toss a comment, but like, oh, like if you see someone holding like, you know, Callie's merch, for example, you'll be like, oh, you really like Callie? I like Callie too. And then if they are just like, you know, you just gotta read the air. Cookie. You guys are masters of cookie. So you just read the cookie. Read the air. If they seem like someone who seems interested in continuing the conversation about their oshi, they will. If they're just, you know, going about their day, then you just be like, have a nice day. And then you just go on with your business. At least that's just a theory. A bocce theory. That's just how I see it playing out in my head, okay? But I'll be honest with you though, as like a fellow otaku, right? Like, you guys know me. When I talk about something I really like, I get very excited and I talk about it a lot. Like, I feel like that's very similar for a lot of us. Like, if it comes down to it, sometimes you just have that one moment where you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna randomly talk to this person I don't know about, you know, hololive for an hour. You never know. I think it's the same for most people, not just otakus. But like, maybe it is the case, but if I'm being honest with you, I don't interact with non-otakus that often. So I can't confirm. But I feel like there's just I don't know. It's a different way of thinking, I guess. And what we find normal is different from what, you know, others find normal in a way. Is that why you're not talking much about animes? Kinda? Like, she's too normie. Like, she has her moments, but when she sends updates, I'm just like, she's completely the opposite of me. Which I think is difficult for her too, because like her friends and acquaintances know that she has a sister, but there's not much to talk about. Yeah. I exist, but it's I'd rather not. It's like I have low energy as is. I just can't find it in me to interact with people. Because I remember, like, Aninis back in the day wanted to introduce me to some of her friends. And so we all went out for like a lunch. And then as soon as I sat down, I'm just like, I don't belong here. Let me go. They were talking about things and I'm just like, Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm. Yeah, that was basically what I did. uh, it's just hard because I just don't have a lot of the same interests or had many overlapping interests as Ananis's friends. So I was just like, mm-hmm. So, yeah. It's rough because like once I was in like a bigger gathering, let's say, of like friends of friends. Some people I don't know, some people I know. And we were touring around this place together, and I was just like, because when I'm traveling, especially to somewhere I don't know, I'm just like very quiet. I'm not very overly enthusiastic tourist kind of feel. I just silently take pictures and just silently observe my surroundings. And one of the organizers for the event was like, "Are you okay? I hope you're having fun." I'm just like, yeah, I'm having fun. It's just I seem like a little distant, but that's just how I am. Maybe I acted more quieter and reserved than I seemed online. Who knows? It's just what it is, though. Yeah. Man, why is surviving in society so difficult? It's like the struggles of being a very more, I guess, independent-ish person at the same time. When you find it hard to connect to people, and also at the same time, like, it's not like you don't feel loneliness. If I was like a completely, you know, solo person that don't need no society, I think it's fine. But sometimes you just feel like you just want to talk about something with someone, and you're just like, huh. That's why I say you need that 1% of courage to reach out to people at times. We live in a society. But I guess over time though, I also feel like if you share your interests with people, you sometimes just randomly and naturally feel make bonds out of nowhere. So, you know, it probably would have been more difficult if there was no internet, but you know, we got the internet these days. Who knows where you will find connections and friends these days. Yeah. Where's my train of thought right now? I'm not sure. There was one? I mean, it was going places. Which is why we... Oh my goodness, it's been 2 hours. I mean, it's been going for 2 hours. Enough for me to yap about. Got derailed. Currently developing a thought. It's not working. Will there be a stream at normal taco time today? Probably not. I'm aiming for Monday normal taco time. But I gotta sort out some documents, I'll say, outside of home that requires phone calls, appointments, going outside, perhaps longer trip outside, depending. So, I know, unfortunate, but that's just what it is. And I just want to have everything, all the bases covered this time. So that nothing goes wrong while I'm in Japan for a couple of months again. So there's that. Yeah, a lot of, let's say, additional paperwork that needs to be done. So, I will try to get at least 3 streams. In a week. Each week, rather. Until I go to Japan and I'm settled and then I can stream normally again. But there might be a chance where I have to go for a short travel to get everything done perfectly. So, there's that. Yeah. Such a headache being human. That's so much headache. But I've sorted out everything, or most of the things, I think. I just gotta figure out a couple of things, like if I can survive with the PC the company will lend me, or do I invest and just get a quality PC? Stuff like that too. Should really move to Japan already. I mean, I've considered it, but at the same time, like, it's not like I don't have monthly fees for my current place. Like, no matter what, there's gonna be, you know, maintenance fees, monthly maintenance, utilities, taxes, etc. it's not like they disappear while I'm out of the country. So it's like basically what should I say? If anything, like my monthly costs will be tripled because let's be real, rent in Tokyo is not cheap. Like it's just the monthly costs, not to mention, you know, any other costs that come with it. I mean, on the plus side, I mean, food costs will be down in Japan. Food is cheaper, and yen is lower. But like I've done the calculations. I've punched in the numbers to compare. And in the end, traveling does become lower in the end. Because rent alone, like monthly rent alone, is pretty high. "14-hour flights are rough," but to me, honestly, any flight that's probably longer than 2 hours is pretty much the same to me. So yeah. And I also realized with the previous trip that I do feel homesick. Because I've explained to you guys how I have perfected, or almost perfected, like living comfortably over time with my setup and stuff. And usually, like, even if I get, you know, the PC and stuff provided, it's just not the same. Sometimes, you know, the desk is too small, the chair is not as comfortable, or, you know, there's not enough space to fit both my laptop and monitors, etc. So I am okay with, like, what should I say, adapting to my environment. But I do feel, you know, I do miss, you know, where everything is catered towards my needs in a way. Cover should provide something close to work housing. Like, I'm sure management probably also thought about it. At the same time, it's not like a here's a place, you were staying here kind of thing. Like, it's not very ideal from, like, for example, a security standpoint, or, you know, various reasons. Yeah, I mean, on paper, like, a lot of things sound very, like, it would make sense. Like, they would have, you know, whole dormitory where people can just, the traveling overseas towns would go and stay. But, like, there's a lot of problems with that if you think about it. Or if, you know, you'll be like, oh, but why don't you just come up with a 3D studio in the Americas? But if you think about it, one, it costs quite a lot, quite a lot to build a 3D studio. Two, if it was built, for example, with like slightly lower spec equipment and stuff, in the end, a lot of the members, like, North America is pretty big, you know? Like, you're gonna have to travel anyways. So if you're going to travel anyways, I guess this is the question a lot of people would think about. They're like, why don't they have a studio in the Americas? Like, if you're gonna travel anyways, would you rather go to a studio with a lower spec equipment, or would you rather just go to Japan where they have invested like the best of their tech, you know? In the end, it's like, it makes more sense to choose travel to Japan. Yeah, it's not like you just build the studio and it's done, no more costs. There's upkeep, you know, there you have to have staff there. It's not like the talents themselves run everything by using the studio. Security, all kinds of things. So it's not like the possibilities haven't been considered. It's just, I guess, there's a lot of things behind the scenes too that's not realistic to make it work sometimes. Yeah. There's a lot of things. It's not like we haven't looked into like renting time at already existing studios, but like, I have to say the costs in the Americas and Europe too, I think Kiara looked into that before, is quite high. Renting is quite expensive. It's like basically the same as like music rights to copyright. I saw that Arish talked about it a little bit, but like, to sing one English song, it probably costs, depending on how you use it, especially since, you know, our lives are monetized too. It probably costs, I don't know, nearly as much as the entire live. Who knows? Way too much. Many digits. Yeah. It's also a problem with like translated lyrics as well. Like, we'd have to ask permission to officially translate it or use, you know, official translations and stuff. There's a lot of you know, hoops to get through that I guess some don't know about too. Yeah. A lot of hoops. And sometimes you weigh the options and in the end it's like, you know, it's not really worth it. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's already available. Yeah. Hmm. But you know, it's not like we don't look into it a lot. It's just, I guess, we don't really say it unless it comes up. Yeah. Time and money. Ah, the foundation of society. Do you think it's easier for non-corporate VTubers content creator? I don't think it's easier per se, but you have to know that all fan creations, secondary creations, are always in the gray zone. Of course, if you have, you know, bigger influence, it is more important for you to follow the procedures as strictly as possible so it doesn't become a problem. But, you know, that's a whole different discussion altogether, I feel. Yeah. You know, that's why, like, technically, like, if you actually look into the laws and stuff, selling like fan art and stuff would technically, you know, is a gray zone. But the companies, you know, don't strike them down unless they overstep their boundaries, kind of thing. Like, there are situations where, you know, the IP owners will step in, but yeah. Copyright and stuff and everything is just complicated. But just know that as a bigger entity, I guess, corporation too, to have, you know, let's just say like one person's action might, you know, make it difficult for everyone involved in a way. So I know it might be frustrating that there are so many restrictions and stuff, or, you know, a lot of hoops to go through, but that's just, I think, part of the responsibility of being a part of a bigger group in a way. It's just how I always thought about it. Yeah. I mean, there are benefits too, like if we have a good, you know, relation with other, you know, IPs and stuff, they have a good like image of us, then we get opportunities down the line too. So, you know. There are always pros and cons to everything. It's always hard to find the balance, but yeah. Finding a way to make everything balance and work, I guess, comes with the job. Ah. My train of thought is going places, but I'm just thinking. See? This is what I do too. I'm filtering out things so that, you know, things don't... Actually, don't use two negatives in this. Things make sense. There we go. I was about to say things don't not make sense. No, things make sense. Nina is forming a thought. I should have a little GIF that pops up whenever I'm thinking. The loading GIF. Loading. Why is there so many of you at this hour? Because it's Sunday. No sleep, just like me. It's Sunday 7 p.m. here. Oh. You're at work. You're watching at work. You should be working. Unless you work from home. Then I guess you are working. But also home. 2 a.m. Oh no, I'm keeping people awake. I guess it is the afternoon in a bit. Is it? Oh, I don't even know what time it is. I have to say, all my devices are all kinds of different time zones that I always have to double check. I don't know why it became like this. Like, I have a... what should I say? More of an analog clock on my desk, which I did not adjust summertime for because I was in Japan. And I haven't changed it yet. And my work phone is also a different time zone. Pretty sure my kitchen clocks are wrong too. The time is an illusion. Honestly, it is. I mean, if I wait long enough, it'll fix itself, right? If I wait till, you know, summertime again, it'll be fixed. Yep. I mean, before we know it, it's gonna be like, hey guys, it's summer savings time again. Turn your clocks. What is it? Isn't it like, when is it again? Isn't it in like March or something? March? April? May? June? Thought it was around March. Yeah. Daylight savings time. I wish we got rid of it, but I don't think they ever will. It's just weird because, like, even within the same country, some, like... Was it some states or some... I think it's some states, right? They don't do daylight savings time. So it's like, sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not. Isn't there sometimes, like, a 30-minute difference or something? Weird daylight savings time. It's a mess. Australia has multiple 30 minutes. I feel like Australia's so unique in a way. Because, like, isn't, like, most of the population on the edge near the ocean, and the middle is just, like, the land of fire. The land of fire. No one dares live in the land of fire. Desert and death. Creatures beyond our imagination. Ugh. Yeah. Where's my train of thought going next? To sleep? I don't know. Maybe. I should clean a little bit though. Clean the kitchen a little bit. And then maybe I'll sleep. I do have to wake up before the meeting though, so... But I should really clean up my luggage. It's just been there for like half a month. I'll have to pack it up soon. Nah. Luckily, I did all the laundry before I stuffed everything in the luggage, so there was no laundry. Which is why it's just been sitting there. It's because I know nothing isn't immediate. You know? Nothing needs immediate attention. How easy is laundry over in Japan? It's pretty much the same, no? I do have... I in the apartment, it was a different... washing machine than what I usually use, but it's pretty much the same. They do have some really nice smelling detergent and softener, though. It smells so good, I bought a bag and brought it back home. It smells so good. It's like, I don't even know if they're softeners or if they're just like fragrance beads, but like you just pour some in with your laundry and it comes out smelling so nice. Oh, it's so nice. You know, one of the biggest things I miss in Japan is the ability to order a box of bottled corn tea to my doorstep. It's just the click of a button. Oh. Like at home, I've just been like trying to make tea, and I make cold brew tea too. 'Cause there's little bottles where you can make cold brew tea with just loose leaves. But like, man, can do that here with the delivery app. No, they don't sell corn tea here. I don't mean like the corn... What's it called? Corn whisker tea or whatever. It's like actual corn tea. I did buy a bag to make it, but it's not the same. Did corn tea overtake hojicha as your favorite? Probably. Probably yes. Like if I walk into a konbini and I see this brand of corn tea, I will pick that first. If they don't have it, then the next go-to is probably between hojicha and mugicha. It really depends what I'm in the mood for. But I have to say, I do quite like genmaicha almost as much as hojicha. I really like genmaicha. Yeah, I have a big bag of genmaicha loose leaf at home too that I make. But I just like don't want to drink that much of it because it still has caffeine. So I try to stick as much towards like corn tea, hojicha. You stopped drinking caffeine? I don't drink that much of it anymore. Like Like, I'll have an occasional, you know, energy drink, but I don't drink it every day. Which is a good change. Ah. And even with coffee, I've been drinking decaf. I know. No actual real coffee, just decaf. But your heart probably thanks you. Probably. But you know, I still like to enjoy the smell of coffee from time to time. Coffee versus tea again. I guess it's like I don't know. In the end, I like both, so it's just whatever I'm in the mood for. That's the thing, right? It's like coffee, conveniently, you can get like a very easy, convenient, efficient way of brewing it. Of course, there is the more, you know, more effort, better coffee method, but it's pretty... I mean, we can get pretty decent ones still with like capsules, in a way. If you get specific brands too. And you can buy... I mean, I don't know. It's probably the same with tea too. The thing is, with a lot of teas, I stock up on them as loose leaf, right? So it takes a little longer, slightly less efficient way of making the drink. If I was given the same amount of time to prepare the drink, at least in my little drink area. And of course, I could just buy tea bags, but usually tea bag teas aren't as good tasting. It's like the equivalent of instant coffee. I'm not saying instant coffee is like bad and like tea bags you can get at supermarkets are bad. No, I would drink them from time to time, but it's not like for me, coffee is like a go get hot bitter drink, nice smelling hot bitter drink fast kind of drink. And tea is more like a, you know, I'm gonna drink this for a little while. I can spend a little more time preparing the drink kind of thing. Yeah. Coffee takes more time to make though. Well, a lot of the coffee I drink is like capsule coffee because Mamanis likes capsule coffees. Very convenient. So I just pop that in, press the button, and then I just go do the dishes a little bit or something, do something else, and then the cup is ready in like 3 minutes. But then with my tea, because I have a lot of loose leaf, I have to rather prepare the pot, which requires a lot of cleaning afterwards too. Actually, a lot of the prep in the end comes down to cleaning up afterwards. With the capsule coffee, I just collect the capsules and hand it over to the store for recycling. But tea, I have to like, depending on what like strainer and stuff I use, I have to like empty it out, make sure none of the tea leaves get stuck in the small holes, wash the pot, wash the cup. I do have those like single-use tea bags too, but it's like I still have to pay attention to when the tea is brewed just right. Cause some teas, if you leave in the tea bag too long, it gets way too bitter and stuff. Anyways, there's a lot of process. It is calming at time preparing tea, but I mean, I like both. That's why each like tea package comes with the instructions for the you need the water to be this hot, and you need to leave the tea bag in for this amount of time. Make sure you take out the tea bag afterwards. The best one. And all the instructions for all the teas are different. That's why I quite like this corn tea. It's because I just leave... Literally, it's just corn, like dried and roasted corn. Let's just leave it in there. And it's just corn tea. It's quite nice. That's soup, right? No, it's not quite soup. Like, it takes... Like, if I cold brew it, it takes a while for it to actually get to a stage of flavor that I like. But if it's hot water, it doesn't take that long. Ina, do you like matcha like the real traditional ones? I do! I think they're best with some sweets, though. Like, I forgot where it was. Where was it? It was near Sendai. There was a shop I went to this time. I just randomly ran into it. And they were serving like a set. It was like 700, 800 yen. It was like a set with like traditional matcha and like one... You can choose from different Japanese sweets. Usually the one that I like the most is the one with like the red bean stuff. Red bean goes so well with matcha. So I like it when there's like, you can have small sips of the matcha and then you have a little bit of the sweets, and then the flavors just like all blend together and you're just like And then to top that off, there's like a really beautiful view of the ocean and stuff, or like the forest, depending on where the cafe is that you go to, I guess. It's really good. A lot of the... I remember I went to another one. I forgot where it was. Was it in Kyoto? I mean, it might have been in Kyoto. Yeah, I think it was in Kyoto. Where it was like part of a museum. It's not a museum, memorial. I'm not sure, but they also had the matcha with sweets combo, and you could look into their garden. And it was great. You can just sit there and sip the tea, eat the sweets, hear the wind moving through the tree leaves. What a life. Do I have a favorite vacation town in Japan? Ooh. Hmm. I mean, overall, like atmosphere that I feel, I do quite like Kyoto. I feel like it's just very, you know, a nice place to experience Japanese culture. Kyoto is very lovely. Hi, oyasumi oyasumi nasai. It's just like I am hesitant to recommend a lot of the big tourist spots because there's just a lot of people. So it's, I think, a bit harder to enjoy it fully. Yeah. Like, for example, like my memory of Otaru, for example, when I went last time, it was really nice. Like, maybe it was just a time of the year where there weren't as many people visiting, but it wasn't as crowded, and there was a lot to just enjoy. But this time, when I visited, it was so crowded. It was so crowded. I was like, is this the same Otaru that I remember? I remember getting on the express train because there's one that goes from Sapporo station, and I was wondering. I was like, and the train was packed full, like rush hour full with people. And I was like, there's no way this many people are going to Otaru, right? Because from what I remember, when I rode that express train the first time, like there were not that many people on the train, enough that I could take like really nice pictures of the ocean view, because that express train goes along the ocean, like the coast, so you can get really nice shots of the ocean and the train. But like there was no way I could take pictures. It was filled with people. And I realized, like, I guess it's also with what happened, you know, with COVID and all. I'm pretty sure that changed the town a bit as well. But I didn't remember seeing that many food shops on the street that I usually walk down. And I was like, it changed a lot. It changed a lot. Because I remember, because there is one street where you can walk down. There used to be a lot of like handmade glass shops. They were literally all throughout the street. And there's still some of them around, like some of the bigger ones are still there, but some of the smaller ones are, I don't think they're not there anymore. Just more food related shops too is what I experienced. Yeah. I mean, it can't be helped. But yeah, it was definitely a different experience going there in the winter though. I did quite like Sapporo in the winter when it snowed, because it actually felt like the Hokkaido I've been told about. And like the best time of the day when the sun's like just about to set and there's snow on the fields, on the ground, and it's snowing and you're on the train. It's just the best feeling. I call it the golden hour, but I don't personally, I call it the blue hour, because everything turns more blue, to me at least. It's not like at sunset, it's like you don't see the sun anymore, but you still have a faint bit of light in the sky. It's like right before sunset. It's like a nice, cooler hue to the outside. Yeah, I do quite like Hokkaido. I like the food in Hokkaido. Hokkaido milk, Hokkaido cheese. Cheese. Delicious cheese. Yeah, I bought some packaged cheese. And it was like scallop flavored and squid flavored cheese, and they had small chunks of the fish in there too. It was good. It was really good. I say packaged as in like it wasn't like a chunk of cheese, it was like the small individually packaged one bite-sized cheese. It was really good. I wish I could get more of it. Delicious. Maybe I'll find some when I go back. Cheese. Speaking of cheese, I remember there's that mentaiko brand that Seisei Senpai really likes. I remember seeing it, and seeing it was extra spicy. I was like, oh, I'm in Japan. I can order it. So I did. It was good. It was good mentaiko. It was... I could feel the spice too. Slightly. Which means it's probably gonna be relatively spicy for normal people. Yeah. Can there even be bad mentaiko? Does that exist? I think so. There's like... I mean, there are mentaiko that isn't like seasoned as nicely. It's like they make barely any effort to the seasoning, the sauce. Sometimes it's a little disappointing. You see some like tiny specks of chili flakes and that's it. But the real good ones comes with like a little more sauce than like what's, you know, in the packaging. It's really good. It has to have a good balance of the original fish egg flavor as much as the seasoning itself, you know? Yeah, that's what I realized about my spice tolerance. And how my spice tolerance is probably not a good indicator of how spicy things are. Cause if I can feel the spice in something when I eat it, it most likely means that it is going to make normal tolerance level people suffer. Even if you say you're good with spice, like there's a chance you might feel the pain. Yeah. So I remember, I think this happened multiple times where like I ate something that was like, I could feel the spice. I was like, oh, it's actually spicy. And so I recommended it to another friend. And then yeah. It keeps happening. Do I ever burn my tongue at least? I mean, I do feel like, you know, when I have, because I got a new hot sauce recently. And I can feel the spice for that, for sure. It's like one of the slightly slower building up spice kind of thing. But it's like, it's pretty good spice. Like I feel the pain a little bit. The type that gets worse with water? I don't think so. It's a slow burn, but it tastes good. But I'm realizing that if a relatively normal spice level person had the sauce, they probably won't taste the sauce. How about Mane-chan? Kumomane is pretty good with spice too. But I think she's definitely lower tolerance than me. For sure. But it's good. Because it makes picking food much easier if spice can be tolerated. What about my previous manager? I've never met my previous manager, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, but Kumomane is really good with spice, surprisingly. And then I think a couple of the managers are good with spice. Mabel says she likes spice. I would like to see her compare. Oh yeah, I remember when I went out with Mabel for lunch before. I was like, yeah, we should go Koko Ichiban level 10. Let's go. We should call all the members and Mani-chans that are good with spice and just have a table full of level 10s. That would be a sight to see. Oh yeah, one of the things I did want to talk about regarding spice was was it in it was in Sapporo. Sapporo also known for soup curry, right? So I was trying to find a decent soup curry place that actually does good spice. And one of the times I was really craving one and I couldn't. It was pretty late, so I ended up Ubering. And I've Uber each in Japan quite a bit of times now. And a lot of the restaurants where they go maximum hell spicy, like I would eat it and I'll be like, ooh. I'll be like, ooh, disappointment. But this soup curry place I ordered from, they had like the numbered levels up to 10. So I was like, I'll just get level 10. That's fine. And so I got it. And then the first thing I saw was that thin layer of chili oil in the corner of the container. And I was like, this is promising. It's quite promising. And so I had a bite. It was delicious. Perfect amount of spiciness. I think it was probably around Koko Ichiban's level 10. 8 to 10, somewhere around there. So it was pretty good. I was like, this place, if I ever come back, I'm having another bowl. And so I was happy with my bowl of soup curry. And so on the day I flew back to Tokyo, I found another soup curry place. I went in. I think it was a chain. You guys probably will know the name, but they had like numbered spiciness level 2. And this time it was like ranging from 1 to like 40 something. 40, 50, I forgot what the max level was. So I was like, huh? Like what? How spicy does it go for it to go that high? And so I was like, I'm unsure if like this is gonna be the same level of spiciness as the previous soup curry place, or if it's just more subdivisions, you know? And so I was like, okay, just because I'm about to go on, you know, an airplane, I don't want to have a bad tummy. So I will maybe go for 30. Because, you know, it's like maybe 40 is the level 10 of this restaurant. It's like, like 30. I got it. I see the soup. No signs of redness. And I'm starting to doubt. I'm just like, did I get tricked? Should I have gotten higher for more spice? And I was like, no. Maybe it's one of those spices that it's not derived from, you know, red chili. Maybe it's one of those hidden spicy curries that is actually really, really spicy. Those are kind of like difficult spice where sometimes it's like painful to eat. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So I hesitantly took a spoon and ate it. And boy, was I disappointed. I was like, I couldn't feel the spice at all. I was just like, I was here looking for a, you know, something that didn't, you know, that could have been pretty spicy, but I was like, ooh. Like it was probably like, actually I can't really tell because I never had anything lower than an 8 from Kokoichi. But I'm gonna assume it was probably around like maybe 3 to 5 Kokoichiman, maybe? I can't tell because I couldn't feel anything, so so I was like, man, I should have tried 40. But I mean, it was pretty good curry though. It was probably for the better because I had to, you know, go on a plane for a couple hours. So, you know, probably best that I didn't eat anything that upset my stomach, because I've realized my stomach is very sensitive these days. Ever since I had like really greasy food once and my stomach just refused to digest it. And yeah. And the double food poisoning. Although it was not like back to back, it was like a couple months apart. But still it was not the greatest. So now my stomach is like very sensitive to what I eat. So I try not to overdo it. Poor tummy. I know you suffered enough. I give you good food and this is what you give me. But at the same time, like I do really like vegetables and stuff, so I quite enjoy bigger servings of veggies than meat. It's all good, it's all good. What is considered too spicy for you? I mean, I think there was only one time where I felt like it was actually painful to eat something was one. It was like a big gathering. I forget if it was friends or family, but we were at a hot pot place. And they actually got different levels of spice for, you know, different sides of the table. And I was on the spicy side. But one of the broth was white. And normally, you would assume white base soup is not spicy. But that broth was the spiciest I've ever experienced. Like, it actually hurt. It actually hurt to eat. It's very deceptive, so... yeah. But that, at the same time, I was younger, so I wasn't as built up with tolerance for spice back then. So I don't know, if I were to go back, maybe I would enjoy it more. But... I don't know. That was definitely before the time where Mamani's literally put serrano peppers in everything we ate. I still chuckle at the time when Kiara was over. I made sure to tell Mamanis because Mamanis really wanted to cook for her or cook something for her. So I was like, Mom, she cannot eat anything spicy. Do not put peppers into soup or any other food. And she made like some oden soup. And I think she was like, I don't know if she did it out of habit or just for the flavor. She was like, I put like a few slices in the whole pot. I'll be honest, I couldn't taste it myself, the spiciness. It was like normal to me, but to Kiara, it was too much. But then again, I don't think Kiara's that bad because I've seen some people who can't even handle black pepper. And I'm just like, I am so sorry for your spice tolerance. Because the amount of flavor and just like scent just black pepper adds to a dish is so great. Like, even despite, you know, the slight, very slight black pepper spiciness, like, I would be so sad. Yeah. But then again, different people, different tolerances. It is what it is. Oh my goodness, last time I checked the clock, I was like, oh, we hit the 2-hour mark. We're already at 3 hours. Oh, Ina. Yapping away. But I should really go clean the kitchen before Mamoni's gets here. She always catches me when I clean the kitchen. Because I always run the dishwasher before she comes. And she's just like, you clean because I was coming over, huh? She's on to me. Oh no. But yeah, I should go clean the kitchen. Maybe chip away at cleaning the luggage. And if I feel sleepy, I will sleep. Make sure I wake up in time for the meeting. I hope so. But yeah. Thanks for joining this guerrilla stream that I turned on because I couldn't sleep. I mean, to be honest, I was rolling in bed and I was just like, you know, I was just watching some YouTube videos, some cat videos. I was like, I might as well chit chat a little bit. Maybe if I have nothing to do, I'll play some Gomoku. But look at me, underestimating myself. Yapping away for 3 hours, 20 minutes. Anyways, I'll try to be back Monday, maybe Tuesday. I don't know what schedule's looking like much, but there will be more streams, I think, towards end of the week, perhaps. Double check. Yeah. I will see. Yeah, a lot of scheduling things are up in the air because I have to book reservations for some stuff, but they weren't open over the New Year, so I have to wait till Monday. Cool. ぜひもなし. Okay. Anyways, thanks for keeping me company as I struggle with not being able to sleep. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the morning, afternoon, evening. I will see you guys next stream. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Wow.